Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I decided instead of doing a typical plan with me, I would do a refreshed video using my Hobonichi Week stencil set. If you're new to my channel, I make stencils and stickers and planning videos, but I wanted to showcase this stencil set in an updated video. I think I have some way back that I filmed a few years ago, but I wanted to incorporate the stencils, some of the supplies that I've been using on a daily basis, and do it in sort of a inspirational bullet journal type of layout here. It won't be a functional one for me necessarily, but more for a tutorial purpose. All right, so the stencils that I'm using is the Hobonichi Week stencil set from my Etsy shop. This is probably my most popular and most loved and used in my own personal life. I feel like it has the perfect amount of shapes and sizes to be used in an A5 planner, or if you plan in like a Hobonichi Weeks, a planner of that size. In addition to that, I'll be using my favorite pen, which is the Energel Cleana in 0.4 millimeter gel. And I'll show you guys why I love this pen so much. I think it'll become evident in this video. Just a few mild liners here, nothing too crazy for basic colors. All of these items, aside from the stencils and stickers, should be linked on my Amazon storefront, which is where I purchased those. And then I just have some washi tape on the side here in case I want to add that to the spread. And lastly, I was just going to pick up some stickers from my shop, just random ones, to see if I could add into my layout today. So we'll see. I've just got like a bunch here from my planners. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is probably do a little bit of a header, and I thought I would incorporate using the bullet tip of the mild liner. So if you're new to planning or mild liners, stationery, etc., this is sort of a dual-ended highlighter. One side is a bullet tip, which is slightly more exact, and then the other is a chiseled tip. And if you ask me, I don't really have a favorite side. I use both pretty frequently. So let's title this How to Use, and then stencils is going to be the bottom word. Actually, let me zoom in a little bit here. I really want to get some details into this video today. Okay. How to use, and then I could put stencils. I'm just going to letter it. So it's just going to be long kind of bounce lettering. Just like that. Essentially, it's just cursive, but then I'm just dragging the letters out. I guess I'll also do some like lettering in this video, and I wanted to kind of do some bubble letters here. So all I'm doing is outlining the mild liner that I used on the skinnier bullet tip and leaving a little bit of a white border to make it look like a bubble letter. It almost looks like those balloons, those really giant numbered balloons that you can use for birthday parties. That's sort of the effect that I'm going for. So if you can leave a little bit of the white border, that's ideal. It's best if it could be somewhat uniform, but I mean, this is just for you, so do your best. Okay, how to use stencils. Perfect. Okay, and I thought I would probably add in a little bit of washi tape here, potentially on the bottom. Let's take a look over here. It's a little bit noisy, as I think today is trash day, so you might hear some noise outside. And if you are new to washi tape, it's essentially this, it comes in different designs, different thicknesses, and you can like lay it down and also pretty easily for most tapes, peel it back up, and it cuts really easily, say with even just like a business card. So I think it adds a nice pop of color, and I'm a big fan. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we can do. The first basic shape I'm probably going to use is this here, which is a little banner. And sometimes people ask me, oh, how am I supposed to use this? They'll buy my stencil and are not really sure. So the first thing I recommend is doing the box. And as you can see, this gel pen is so smooth and so exact. So the line is like so clean. And then you take this little side area and you kind of lay it over the edge and outline. And then you'll take the other side and do the exact same thing. Ideally, you want to kind of place them sort of symmetrical, but if it's not perfect, that's okay. So it looks a little funny right now, but the main part we're going to do is connect these lines here. And then I'm just going to do some vertical lines there, and it gives it a nice kind of three-dimensional shape. What you can also do is box it in here. So I tend to like to box it somewhere in the middle here. Let's take a look. Just gonna follow the outline. Very nice. And then another thing you can do if you wanted to give it even more dimension is sort of, instead of bringing the stencil right up to the original line, bringing it down a little bit to the left to create this drop shadow effect. And so that looks pretty cool. So let's just say this one here is Sunday, or actually let's make it Monday. Monday, I'm just gonna write like that, tiny letters. And if we wanted, we can even do 2 little tiny boxes here. You could even add a pop of color, just like doing something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I think that looks pretty nice. All right, let's see. Another popular shape that this is really nice if you bullet journal or are trying to set up bullet journal spreads, but you can totally do this in a planned out planner. For example, like a Hobonichi, you can add these like custom little banners or tags or flags and make it your own. So all I did was I put the original shape, then I'm going to layer this shape right underneath and fill in the parts that were not drawn in. So for example, this little tag here and this little tag here. And then some people are like, oh, what is this supposed to be? So you have to connect the triangles, but in this case it's slightly canted. So we're gonna do a slightly rounded edge and then we'll add the vertical lines. Just like that. See how nice this looks? This looks like this three-dimensional tag. And let's make it Tuesday. Just essentially. And if you wrote like too little like this and there's some space, you can always add a heart and it looks intentional. No one's gonna know and it looks nice to me. All right, so you can continue on with this gel pen. And as you can see, this pen is so smooth. Highly recommend this. I've been planning nonstop since I discovered it last November. But I'm gonna take a mild liner now and essentially put this down somewhere right there. And let's see, just highlight around. Nice. I'm gonna show you how you can use the bullet tip, or sorry, the chisel tip. Just gonna line up the edge here, place it from one end to the other. Beautiful. That looks so nice, I think. All right, so you can say, let's pretend this is important. So I'm just gonna write the word important in all caps. So for example, maybe you're writing some notes in here and then down here would be the important things. You could put check boxes if you want, really whatever. There's a lot of options. Okay, another kind of pattern that I like to do is utilizing these 3 little, what are these called? Banners. There we go. I was like, what is the word? These little banners here. So I have this, also have like triangle banners, these kinds of shape rounded banners, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to do sort of a banner like this. Let's do this. So to do the banner, you want to hold it still and go for however many boxes you plan to do. For me, it's going to be Wednesday. I'm just going to do WED. So what I really love to do is keep it there, gently lift it, bringing it down into the left and creating that drop shadow. And if you keep it pretty steady, you'll have a pretty nice uniform drop shadow from that. See that? Really happy with how that turned out. And if you like keep it leveled and don't move it, you get a pretty nice result each time. So I could do something like this, although we're gonna overlap into the box. I actually don't know how much space we have, so I'm just gonna do that. Obviously you might not for your actual spreads, but let's just do this for the video here. I'm going to draw around and just stop behind this. So actually it has like, oh, these are layered boxes. And just like the one up here, I'm actually gonna drop it down just a tad. And let's see here, like that. So these banners look like they're kind of floating. That's not gonna work. We want to probably ground them somehow, make them look like they are there, not just floating. So all you need to do is make a little ribbon connecting the line. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight because it's like a string. So if it's a little bit bent, I actually think that looks a little bit better. Perfect. Wednesday. And for this, you know, I can do a little box here. You can do anything really, but let's just do this here. And then write in your things. All right, let's see, Thursday. So Thursday, I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna use this arrow. So for the arrow, I'm gonna just place it right here, hold this down, and trace the stencil. So it's kind of like, what are we gonna do with an arrow? Good question. Let me do a blue. I'm actually gonna use the bullet tip of the mild liner and make the drop shadow versus using the pen. See, it gives still a shadow effect, but a little bit different than the ones we did here. And for Thursday, I'm gonna do lowercase, but maybe do like a little dot like that. Thursday. I don't know if that looks confusing, but something like that. You could also even, let me show you guys, do something like this. So I'm just taking this banner from the side, and then let me get this shape here. So I want it to be sort of in the middle of the arrow, not all the way to this banner edge, but slightly inwards. And let me show you the effect you get by doing something like this. You see how it looks like it's sticking out from the side, and you can even do a triangle in. Gives that some dimension there. Just like tiny little things make a huge difference. It's all in the detail. And I'm just gonna take a mild liner, the yellow with the chisel tip, and do a little thing down here. Super cute. You could even do 2 lines. Let's see what that looks like. It's just cute. It's like a pop of color. And then people are like, oh, what do you do in this thing? You could leave it blank. You could do an icon like a little heart or some kind of figure. You could put the number for the date. What, say it's like the 3rd, just put a 3 there. Really anything. Let's see. Thursday, let's do Friday over here. Okay. So I'm just gonna do that. And you can twist this same shape that I used here and do it long like this. So let's see. Very nice. Friday, do I want to drop shadow here? I do, so I'm just going to line it up, bring it to the left and down just a little to do a very accurate drop shadow. Very nice. It's so subtle, but I think it makes a big difference. And then for this Friday, we're just going to do F-R-I. Good. And then what else could we do here? I'm thinking you could even do like a little circle if you wanted, like a half circle under, and put the date. But I think I'm just gonna leave mine blank like that. But I will probably add some lines down here. Let's do 3. 1, 2, 3. You'll definitely want to hold it flat against the page. You can see it kind of messed up there, but totally okay. You could even be like TGIF, TGIF. Cute, or add like a little heart. I mean, really, you can be as creative as you want. Actually, you can do even little hearts for your bullet points. That's kind of cute too. Or you could just leave it blank, or you can use the boxes. And then let's see, for Sunday, or actually, sorry, I'm gonna do weekend because I'm running out of space here. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. And weekend, I'm just gonna combine the two. Actually, I'm gonna do a drop shadow right away. And I'm gonna make my own shape. So I don't want the border to go right up to the edge. We want this kind of hanging over. So I'm just gonna do something like that. Just bring this down to here. And let's see how far over. I'm just gonna do thing to there. And I don't know where it ends. Ends around there. Okay. And we're just gonna line this up. All right, and here I'm gonna put weekend. Trying to decide if I want to letter it up top or write it all into here. I think I'm gonna letter it. So I'm just gonna do the long cursive again. Weekend. Okay, and then here you could put the dates, like let's just for example, the 28th through the 29th. I don't even know if those are like accurate dates for this month, but just for example. And then let's say we want to, oh, you know what we should do? We should do a little drop shadow on the border here. And since I made up my own external shape, I don't have like an exact stencil to follow. So I'm just gonna use this as like a ruler edge and do something like that. And here I can connect it and do like the triangle 3D. That looks nice. And we can do, instead of doing the chiseled edge at the top, you could do it, or at the bottom, you could do it at the top. Something like that. That looks really nice as well. All right, and so let's see if I'm gonna incorporate stickers. I'm not really sure. My plan was actually to do this with stickers throughout, but maybe I'll use this little retro icon one. Well, let me take a look here. I've got these planner girls. Oops. We've got this one. Could do this person. That could work. Let me see, how come I have so many of those? Ooh, these curls. Okay, I'll keep this on this side. Some bullet, if you're doing larger layouts, you could use the bullet journal one. Let's take a look here. Okay. So I guess this video was more on stenciling, but I feel like some pop of stickers or some pop of color helps too. So I'm just gonna lay it down and see what I can put down here that might look cute and add. I don't wanna take away. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna do a couple things. So let's see here. I am going to add a little bit of some stickers where I feel like it might benefit. Let's take this girl out. and place her a little bit lower here. I'm trying to put her as close to the edge as possible without hanging off, but also still giving space here. Okay, I do like this little milk tea for the weekend. Let's do something like that. Cute. Hopefully I don't go overboard. It's very easy to go overboard with stickers, I find. For myself, at least. Let's take a look here. This is really cute. I don't know where I can put this, though. Let's see. Maybe I can place this somewhere up here. Oh, yeah, that gives it like a little kawaii vibe. That's cute. And maybe I will do another little one. Where it could be here. Well, that's actually super cute. All right. Sorry, I think the lighting is getting a little strange. All right, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative and helpful, especially if you recently picked up this bundle and were wondering how else you could use it aside from the recent videos I've been showing. But yeah, again, all these things, these stickers and stencils are linked in my Etsy shop, and these supplies like the gel pen, mild liners, washi tapes, those are all on my Amazon storefront. Also linked down below. All right, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!